The storm raged across the Aegean Sea. Waves as tall as mountains crashed against the small Greek ship. Odysseus gripped the mast, determined to survive, while the fury of Poseidon churned the waters into a deadly tempest. In the aftermath of the Trojan War, Odysseus devised the cunning plan of the wooden horse. Under the cover of night, he and his men worked tirelessly, building the massive structure that would change the course of history. The wooden horse was rolled into the gates of Troy. Smoke and fire rose in the distance as Greek soldiers hid inside, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The city stood unaware of the doom that had entered its walls. Odysseus stood on the deck as a massive storm engulfed his ship. Poseidon, the god of the sea, emerged from the towering waves, trident in hand, furious at the cunning of the mortal hero. The ship pitched violently as waves crashed over the deck. Odysseus held fast, his men screaming, battling the wrath of both sea and God. Lightning split the dark sky, illuminating their desperate struggle. On a strange tropical shore, Odysseus' men sampled the lotus flowers, forgetting home, lost in blissful illusion. Odysseus watched them, worried, knowing he had to drag them back to reality before the magic trapped them forever. Inside a dark, rocky cave, the giant Cyclops Polyphemus towered over Odysseus and his men. Shadows danced across the walls as Odysseus prepared a sharpened wooden stake, plotting the cunning escape from the monstrous one-eyed giant. The enchantress Circe raised her golden staff, casting a glowing spell. Odysseus' men writhed on the marble floor, half transformed into pigs, while he watched cautiously, knowing the power of her magic could decide their fates. Odysseus was tied to the mast, straining to hear the song of the sirens. Their voices shimmered over the waves, beautiful yet deadly. His crew rode with wax in their ears, oblivious to the deadly allure, while he battled his desire to follow the enchanting melody. Between two monstrous dangers, the ship sailed. Scylla's 6 heads reached for sailors, while Charybdis formed a terrifying whirlpool. Odysseus shouted orders, steering through chaos, knowing any wrong move could mean death. Odysseus stepped onto a tranquil island, lush with green trees and waterfalls. The goddess Calypso watched gracefully, her ethereal presence both comforting and bittersweet, offering eternal life if he stayed. Sitting on the shore, Odysseus gazed toward the distant horizon. Despite the paradise around him, his heart ached for Ithaca, for his wife, and the home he had longed for through endless trials. The gods decreed his release. Calypso, with sorrowful eyes, helped Odysseus prepare a raft. Light from the heavens illuminated the shore, signaling hope and the continuation of his journey home. Odysseus finally set foot on Ithaca's shore. Golden dawn light reflected on the gentle waves. Relief washed over him as he looked at the land of his birth, weary but unbroken. To assess the situation, Odysseus disguised himself as a beggar, walking through narrow cobblestone streets. Eyes watched him suspiciously, unaware that the long-lost king had returned. In a dimly lit room, Odysseus whispered plans to his son, Telemachus. Their eyes met, filled with hope and determination, plotting the downfall of those who had overrun their home. The grand hall was filled with suitors, laughing, arguing, and unaware of the beggar among them. Penelope watched carefully, her heart a mix of patience and apprehension. Odysseus picked up his legendary bow, muscles taut, focus unbroken. The suitors gasped as he prepared to release the arrow, unaware of the skill and destiny it carried. The arrow flew perfectly through 12 axes. Silence fell. The suitors froze in shock. Penelope gasped, and Odysseus revealed his true identity. Justice and destiny were at hand. On the shore, Odysseus embraced Penelope as the sun rose over Ithaca. Golden light reflected on the waves, mist drifting gently. Relief, joy, and peace filled the air. The journey had finally ended.